Alright, YouTube, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. The one, the only, the review of NECA's 18-inch, 1/4 scale masked Predator figure. I did the unboxing for this thing, and I got a ton of feedback on Facebook and on YouTube wanting an official review for this guy. I wish I had all the time in the world to just do reviews all day long, trust me, because I really enjoy doing this kind of stuff. But unfortunately, there's other things that I do in life that keeps me from doing that. And I wish there wasn't, but oh well. Anyways, as promised, here it is. I'm trying to catch up. I got a couple other reviews I'm filming at the same time as this, so you should have a few others uploading later tonight, like the Bowen Designs Odin figure and the Sideshow Collectibles exclusive Kratos maquette review. But this guy is awesome. This guy, I was a little skeptical at first. I didn't know how good this guy was going to be. And I'm super freaking stoked how well this guy turned out. Just a little quick disclaimer. I probably will not be getting any of the other versions of this, unmasked, open mandibles, or closed mandibles. I think it's silly to own 2 or 3 of the same figure, and the only difference is the head. Now, if it was like a battle damaged version without the mask or something like that, then I probably would pick it up. You know, if he had some like armor chunks taken out, he had the band around his leg with like the iridescent blood flowing out or something like that. You know, then I might pick it up. But just to have a different head, I don't know. At the most, I would say get like the open mandibled one and then get the masked one. If you really got to have multiple portraits. But anyways, this thing turned out great. A lot of people say, oh, buy all 3. It's better to have 3 than to buy 1 Hot Toys. Well, actually 2 of them are about the price of a Hot Toys, off by about 20 bucks. If you were to buy all 3, you would be a Hot Toys and a half. So I would rather just, you know, I will pick up every one of these that NECA does if they do an Elder Predator like they're talking about, and several other different Predator figures. If they do different characters, I'll pick every 18-inch character up that I can. Masked or unmasked, I'll probably do the masked ones unless it's like the Elder Predator where they don't come with a mask. But I'll always pick up the masked portrait version just because I think they look cooler with the mask on. But yeah, so I'm sold. If they can do multiple characters like this, you know, the different versions or different characters, then I will definitely pick every single one of them up. So anyways, before we run out of time, let me get into a review. The paint on this thing is incredible. The skin is shiny, and the armor is a nice dull silver color. So they nailed that perfectly because the skin actually looks like skin. It's fantastic. When they said they were putting netting on it, which they did, it's a separate netting. I thought it was going to be like string, but it's not. It's actually like a plastic netting, which is fine. I mean, it looks great. It doesn't look bad at all. It was just a little, I was kind of taken back by that. The detail, the sculpt is amazing. They nailed it perfectly. The paint applications on the armor are great. It's shaded and, you know, worn and weathered out so it doesn't look like it's brand new shiny stuff. The skulls here are separate. They've even got all the individually molded skulls. The skull necklace here. And then over here on the back, they've got the spine sections right here as well. Another thing that I really like about this is every one of the Dreadlocks is individually molded. As you can see, it's not like the little 8-inch figures where it's just all one thing. Each Dreadlock is separate from the other. All the hoses, like here, you got all the hoses on the backpack, on the little gun, up here on the front. The shoulder cannon actually articulates on a ball joint, which is fantastic, and forward and backwards. So you can turn this in any direction that you want to pose it with. The sculpt on the backpack is great. The backpack's actually separate, so that comes off. You just hook it on a little hook under here, and then slide it forward until it snaps in up here on the shoulder. It's even got the little wires sticking off the sides of the helmet. Unfortunately, it doesn't light up, which would have been really cool, but they did paint the lasers red. you know, I would have paid probably an extra, you know, $20 if they made this stuff light up. If they could have made the wrist gauntlet light up and they could have made the laser light up, that would have been awesome. The wrist gauntlet doesn't actually open. At least I haven't been able to get it to open. I don't think it does. I mean, I'm pulling on it and nothing's happening. So, if somebody else has one of these and the wrist gauntlet actually opens, let me know. But I don't think it does. But anyways, the detail's great. The blades actually extend over here quite some distance, as you can see. Those really come out a lot. All in all, this thing is 120%, man. They did a fantastic job. I cannot express how great this thing really is. There's only a couple little things that aren't as good as they could be. The first thing that stood out to me is it's great that they put these here, these ties around his knees and around his elbows right here. The only bad part about this is when you look at it really close, it's, first of all, it's black. I believe in the movie or in the actual character itself, they're supposed to be like leather straps, and these things are black ribbon. And when I say ribbon, I mean like these are like, this is like black ribbon that you could go to Joann Fabrics or Walmart and buy out of the fabric section. It's the exact same stuff. So, on that, it could have been a little bit better. They could have made it brown at least, just to kind of look like leather. But they went with black. You can untie them or cut them. So you could actually go to the store yourself and pick up some brown ribbon, or even go to like a leather shop or something like that, and you can buy some really thin, even if it's faux leather, and just wrap it around there and tie it, which is what I'll do. I got a couple scraps of leather hanging around, which I'll probably cut these off and redo that myself. The only other thing, other than that, and that's totally fixable, that's not a big deal. The only other thing that kind of stinks a little bit is a lot of people were talking about mold lines. The only mold line I've been able to find is there's a little tiny one right here on the side of his helmet. Now, it's not very noticeable unless you look at it the right angle where the light catches it correctly, where you can see the crease. But it's really not as bad as everybody makes it sound. You can definitely see that it's there. You can even feel it a little bit. If you're a good enough customizer, you can go in there and kind of sand that down and then repaint it if you wanted to. It's really not bad enough to really take that much, effort to try and fix. So I'll probably just leave it the way that it is. The only other thing is a lot of the silver and stuff, especially on the flat helmet, you can tell it's brushed on. So you can see the brush strokes in the helmet, which, again, it's not that big of a deal. For what it is, for a $90 action figure, this thing is actually pretty great. They retail at like 70 something, or 78 or 79.99 or something, like $80 right around there. And then with shipping, it ends up coming out to about $90 to $94. So, but anyways, it's probably cheaper if you could find it at a local comic shop or something like that. I got mine off of eBay. These things weren't supposed to release for a little while longer. I found a seller that had them in stock, so I went ahead and picked them up. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys your little up-closey at this guy to show off some of the details. There you can see the head, which is absolutely amazing. Details on the head. And the gun right there. And then, like I said, if you come around back here, you can see every single dreadlock is molded individually, which is awesome. You can see how the skin shines right there. And that's all the way around, even up here on the chest. You can see it when the sun hits it. It's a nice, shiny, slimy looking color to the skin. You can see all the little dots were painted. It was all shaded. The skulls. I mean, they did an absolutely fantastic job with this guy. I'm so impressed with NECA right now. It's not even funny. Like I said, I was a little skeptical at first. There's the backpack and the shoulder cannon right there. A little skeptical at first, but they really ended up knocking this guy way out of the park. So, anyways, there you have it. That is the up-close detailed review of the NECA Collectibles, or NECA Toys, 1/4 scale, 18-inch masked Predator. Totally awesome. Nothing but rock.